What's going on, DJ? And together with me, to the moon, people! Skywalk, the Color of Money edition. Yeah, limited edition, people, of one of my all-time favorite nootropics, people. Skywalk by Myoblox. Listen, people, I'm gonna take you through the label of this thing. This is a longer label than the original mainstream Skywalk, people. But I'm gonna be very quick about it because the focus here, the focus, people, is the experience, because labels are just labels. And then towards the end of the video, right here from the world's only FDA-proof bunker, I'm gonna give you my final verdict should you actually still give a shit by then. Now I'm gonna ask in return is that you hit that like button. Okay, people, you know I love nootropics, really. Like, this category, nootropics, stormed into the supplement industry in the last, whatever, 3-4 years. And since then, probably my second most used supplement, from a stimulant perspective at least, after pre-workout, right? And nootropics for me is like pre-anything. Like, just like you take a pre-workout, I take a nootropic pre-everything. And you know, like, there's the formulas, the ingredients, the stuff that goes into a nootropic, a lot of the time is very similar to what you see in fat burners and what you see in pre-workouts. So if you take a pre-workout and you take out the pump formula and the power formula, let's say that they have one, then a lot of the times this would feel like a nootropic. You see that the formula feel like a nootropic. You take that same thing, the same list of ingredients, you add fat burning ingredients and some stuff around sweating and body thermogenesis, you get a fat burner, right, people? So the formulas are very much the same. What really is different is mostly the use case. Like, in what context do you use this stuff and what do you get extra in order to actually fulfill that use case? For example, if it's a nootropic, you want to sit a lot of times in one place, for example. If it's a pre-workout, you don't want to sit in one place. So the mix of the ingredients and how they come together really matters. Okay, people. So I made my list for top nootropics for 2023, and Skywalk was one of them. I really like Skywalk, the original, the mainstream version, even though it's like probably on its 4th iteration, because the company Myoblox, which always nails it down with the design and the whole thing around this, and I'm going to talk about this one in a second. But Skywalk make it. I really like it. It's one of these that you can sit in one place. I almost still feel with Skywalk that it increases my creativity almost. Like, it puts me in a good place. I'm more focused. I'm a bit more edgy in my thought. Anyway, Color Money is their limited edition. I think that they did this before, that this is not the first time that they do this Color Money thing. They put together a different formula. This one has maybe 3 or 4 more ingredients than the mainstream version has. And yeah, and a bunch of stuff like up and away, Color Money, to the moon. So this is a Dogecoin thing also. Laser focus, whatever. Anyway, people, listen. As far as what's in this thing, and I'll tell you, this is different a bit from the other one. So you have L-Tyrosine at 1.5 grams, so that's for focus, obviously. I mean, you're going to see a lot of focus ingredients here. This is a nootropic, right? This is a nootropic. You're going to see stimulants and focus ingredients and maybe mood elevation. Because again, it's just like a pre-workout, people. Then they have carnitine HCl, 500 milligrams for natural energy, cat's claw extract. Then they have alpha GPC at 400 milligrams for one of my favorite forms of choline for focus. Then they have Katuba. Then they have natural caffeine, green tea, 220 milligrams. So that's the first part of caffeine. 210 milligrams, sorry. And then I have Lion's Mane at 150 milligrams. Labels are just labels, but Lion's Mane at 150 on label was not going to do a lot, right? Like, it's a next generation nootropic. It's supposed to put you in the zone. It's not going to do a lot. L-theanine, 110 milligram. I don't like L-theanine in this stuff, but listen, I have great pre-workouts and nootropics that I really like that have L-theanine. Labels are just labels. Who cares? Cola nut extract, so that's another form of caffeine. Coffee berry extract, 25 milligrams, and then Uperzin, and then absorption. So you have a bunch of caffeine sources, high quality caffeine sources that are going to come together. A lot of the times when you see this stuff, the formulator intended for this to actually, hit you relatively fast with caffeine anhydrous, so a bunch of other natural caffeine sources, and then stay with you for a longer period of time. And then you have all these other ingredients here that are supposed to help you with the mental focus and a bunch of other stuff. But listen, people, labels are just labels. Like you would read this stuff and you say, okay, lion's mane, 150 milligrams, who cares? Like if you would Google it or ChatGPT it or whatever you do for information. Really, at the end of the day, what matters is how this shit comes together. Anyway, by the way, other thing I didn't mention, this is one scoop is 40 servings. So, and this is sort of but when you see something like 40 servings, you know, even though they don't have the one scoop, two scoops here, you know that the intention is there's a one scoop, two scoops type mindset here, right? Even though they don't say it, which is really interesting. Okay, people. So anyway, so I tried this with one scoop, and I tried it with 1.5 scoops, and I tried it with 2 scoops. There you go. I tried all of them. So the flavor I have is berry cream. I think it only comes, this money color money thing only comes with one flavor, berry cream. It's actually a very good flavor. You're gonna be fine. Listen, on a scale of 1 to 10, fuck your scale of 1 to 10 for flavors, even for nootropics, because who cares? You're taking this for studying. You're gonna spend like the whole weekend studying, so you want to take this thing. Who cares about flavor? If it's the best experience you ever had, who cares? I don't want flavor to suck, by the way. Even me, I don't want a flavor to be totally terrible, right? This is an okay flavor, berry cream. Let's move on with our life. I think that the color here is supposed to be berry cream also. It looks berryish, creamish, whatever. Listen, people. Experience. So I tried this with 1 scoop, 1.5 scoops, and 2 scoops. Okay, and let me tell you this. What I'm gonna start with what was consistent, whether I used 1, 1.5, or 2 scoops, right? Like with 1 scoop, by the way, actually gonna get 40 servings. With 1.5 scoops, you're gonna get 30 or so, right? With 2 scoops, you're gonna get 20 servings. So let me tell you this. With all of them consistently, this thing hits super, super fast. Like, so if you're taking your nootropic, because let's say you have a meeting in like 15 minutes from now, right? And you want to get in the zone, you're a bit tired. All of them, all the use cases, boom, you're gonna get that energy burst immediately.
It all kind of just hit me at once.
With all of them, also, this very similar to the Myoblox, mainstream Myoblox, right? There's a very good sense of sharpness, right? Like you just feel sharp. This is not, by the way, not on 1, not on 1.5, and not on 2. Maybe on 2. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. You're gonna be able to sit in one place. Definitely, if you're a steam junkie like myself, right? You're gonna be able to sit in one place. But with all of them, you're gonna be able to sit in one place, and there's that very good sense, very similar to the mainstream Myoblox, of just more creativity, more edginess, more sharpness in your head. This is not one of these nootropics, though, that is good for physical work, right? Like there's nootropics that you take and they're just almost like pre-workouts, right? Like because they get you moving, you have to move. Like, you know, in a good way, this does not like, oh my God, sense of urgency. This is not a sense of urgency nootropic, right? Just like the first one. This is I need to study, I need to create, I need to write an essay, I need to do some work, I need to do a presentation, I need to present. What this thing does, though, different from Myoblox mainstream, is there's more sense of mood elevation, which I don't know exactly what here comes together and brings that. Like I said, the Myoblox mainstream sit in one place, more creative. Like I said, it just put me in a more creative zone. This one also adds a sense of life just got a bit better, right? So I don't know what it is. I will tell you though that on between 1 scoop, 1.5 scoops, and 2 scoops, the 2 scoops just last for a long, long time. Like this is the main difference that I felt between these 3 scenarios. Like the 1 scoop, for example, hits you really, really fast, gets you going. For me, it lasted like for 2-3 hours, right? The 2 scoops hits harder for sure because you're gonna get double the caffeine, double everything, right? Hits you harder, but again, not uncomfortable. You're still in the zone. Mood elevation, almost the same level, I want to say, of mood elevation, mental sharpness, clarity, all that good stuff just lasts for like 5 hours, probably 5-6 hours even, of that same feeling. All of them, like I said, the main difference between Color Money and the mainstream Skywalk is that this adds a sense of just more well-being, like a better, like life just got a bit better. You're a bit more optimistic about shit, which I like, right? Which I like. Now, do you need to be more optimistic about shit when what you need to do is like totally be focused compared to the regular Skywalk? I don't know. I mean, you can decide, but I really liked it, right? Like I really liked it. You take it immediately and you feel this thing immediately. So anyway, People, I really like, they haven't fucked up anything. This adds that sense of life just got better. This is still, Skywalk is still one of my favorite nootropics out there. Not a lot of bullshit on this formula. It just works. It just does what it's supposed to do. And again, in all three scenarios, you can sit in one place. The only difference, like I said, is the effects. How long do they last? For some of you, it might be okay with one scoop, and then it's great value for money because you're gonna get 40 servings. Even if you're a steam junkie, I would say try one scoop and 1.5 scoops and see how you feel. You don't always need the whole thing, people. You don't always need the whole thing. Anyway, Myoblox did a good job with this one. I really like it for a nootropic. It's going to be around, I think, for a very limited time. So if you're a nootropic fan, if you're a Skywalk fan, and you want to give this one a shot, I'm going to link below to the page with Fitness News where you can find coupons, save some money while supporting the channel, people. If this review was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe, because this is what we do here. We give our honest, unbiased freaking opinion.